Okay, so I guess we are live now. Okay, just to confirm, everyone can hear me. Yeah, can you hear me, Amit?
Yes, Joe, I can.
All right, I like it. Let me start. Okay, a very good morning and afternoon to all that coming from different time zones today. Thank you very much. I'm Joe, the sales director of Metrics Invent. And it is our honors today that we can have this session to co-organize with Thales to provide this webinar session that with a very exciting, I would say the title that how to really grow your software revenue with a software licensing strategy. So a little bit ourselves before we moving further. Matrix Invent actually has been in the market for almost 20 years. So we position ourselves as a regional distributor that I mean like space in KL, but we also have a remote office in Australia, Vietnam, Jakarta, Singapore, and also I mean in Hong Kong as well. So, but we also work with a lot of dedicated partners that really from China, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Taiwan, India, all the way until New Zealand. So we have been really servicing more than 100 Thales Sentinel customers, across the region. Okay, so whereas I mean, on the other hand, Thales is a very huge group. They have been involved in a lot of big strategic businesses. But today, with us, is actually Thales Sentinel. They are very specialized in software monetization. For almost 3 decades, they are also a clear leadership in this segment. I mean, how to really provide the tools to help you to really execute your monetization strategy. So the goal today, Amit, I mean, will be is a veteran from Thales that more than a decade. Everything is going to be decade of experience. So Amit has been really experienced. Will share us, how to really grow the software revenue, like we just said, using a software licensing strategy, especially when everything is going to be software and also software related in the future, whether you like it or not. And if you are a new customer, existing customer that using the dongle, or you're a new customer that using dongle but not from Sentinel, or even a new customer that looking for any software licensing or crowd solutions. So I think will be a very good session that we can get some idea from Amit how to really look into the way it should be from the Thales way, maximizing your software revenue. Maximizing your software value, also with the right tools and right strategy. But okay, today if you got any question, you can type into the chat box there. You can type in the Q&A or the chat box. We will gather all the questions. While after the end of the session, we will reply one by one. Without delay, I pass it over to uh, Amit. Over to you, Amit.
Thank you, Joe. Can you
No
hear
problem.
me?
Yep, right.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
good.
Okay. So yeah, thank you for first of all giving me this opportunity to speak on this specific topic, and I welcome all the audience. So yeah, I'm going to spend a few minutes on a couple of slides, and then, as Joe said, you can type your questions in the chat window, and we will take every questions by end of this session. So yeah, let's start. Well, the topic today, the growing revenue with software licenses, and there are actually many ways to grow revenue. But these 7 bullets that you see on this specific slides are directly contributing from licensing point of view. And I'm going to touch each and every bullet, starting from immediate deployment, less management, improving security, OpEx saving, cloud licensing, removing supply dependency, as well as flexible packaging, how it is going to help to grow your software revenue eventually, and how it contributes to help you to grow the revenue. So let's start. The first, immediate deployment of a software license can definitely contribute to grow the revenue for business. And here are some of the ways it can help to achieve this. So by deploying a software license that streamline and automate the key business process, you can significantly improve operational efficiency. This can lead to reduce the labor cost, offer quicker response time, and provide a better resource allocation. So as a result, you can handle more transaction or serve more customer in less time. and ultimately increasing the revenue. Deploying a license immediately, which is related to the second bullet, enhanced user experience. You can deploy the license immediately. That enhances the customer experience, and that can also lead to increased customer satisfaction as well as loyalty. So, for example, through a kind of user-friendly self-service portal or a personalized recommendation engine, it can make easier for your customer to find what they are looking for and then make purchase. So a seamless and enjoyable customer journey can drive a repeat business as well as a word of mouth referrals. Through a well-designed licensing package, you can enable your business to scale more efficiently. So when the demand grows, it can handle the customer's requirement without repackaging the software. So this scalability also enables you to tap into new market or accommodate more customers without the need for significant additional resources. So expanding your customer base and market research can also contribute to the revenue growth. The data-driven decision making, what you see the fourth bullet over here, uh, can help contribute in there as well. So deploying the license, mainly the software license that provides a robust analytics and the insight can empower your business to make informed decision. By understanding the customer behavior or market trends and operational performance, you can easily identify new opportunities and optimize your strategy. So this data-driven approach can lead to targeted marketing campaigns and better product offering and more effective pricing strategy, all of which can positively impact your revenue. You may also utilize it for upsell and cross-sell. So if you already have existing customer base, uh, who are using any form of dongle licensing, by replacing it with the software licensing, if you plan, you can offer the new software as an upgrade to those customers, inciting with enticing with additional features and benefit by instantly activating the licenses or additional feature into their existing licenses model. So these are the few ways this immediate deployment with the software licensing can help you to grow the revenue. The second one, lesser management. So growing revenue while maximizing, the management involvement can be achieved by, implementing strategies that leverage some kind of automation or streamline the process and a smart resource allocation. So here are the four ways to achieve the revenue growth with reducing the management task. You may identify the repetitive and time-consuming tasks within your operation that can be automated using software licensing technology. This could include the task such as manual data entry or manual order processing, the customer support inquiries, and many more. So by automating these tasks, you can free up your team's time to focus on high value activities such as strategic planning or business development, as well as some innovation. So by empowering the self-service, you can provide customer with the option that allow them to access the information, choose the product or license, and then make a purchase and find the solution independently without being dependent on your sales or support staff. So by empowering this customer, your customer, to activate licenses on their own, you reduce the strain on your customer support team and enable the revenue growth without direct managerial involvement. The third bullet, automated marketing and sales channel, also helps here. So you may implement an automated marketing or sales channel using the integration of auto fulfillment of software with a licensing. So you may use a CRM system to track leads. You may automate follow-up emails and segment customers for targeted marketing campaigns. This can reduce the need for manual intervention in every step of the sales process and ensure that potential customers are nurtured efficiently through this automated channel. You may also utilize online platforms that are designed for scalability. and software licensing empowers you to do that. So whether you are selling a product or you are selling a services, the platform can handle order processing and license delivery automatically. This reduces the need for existing oversight and management of these processes. And additionally, these digital and automated platforms can allow for easy expansion into new market and a new customer segment. Improving security. How exactly does it help to grow the revenue? So improving security can have a positive impact on your business revenue by building a trust with customers, reducing the risk of data breaches or software breaches, and enhancing your reputation as well. So here again, some of the ways to grow revenue by improving security. Building customer trust and loyalty, which play the crucial role, in building your reputation. So a strong security implementation can help build trust and loyalty amongst your customer. So when customer feel that their transactions are safe and secure, then they are more likely to engage with your business and as well as make the repeat purchase. Improving security measures via software licensing with a cloud options enable. There are some options that you can enable with the software licensing. It allows you to enter into new market that have a strong software security requirement, because security breaches can sometimes lead to costly downtime. So by storing the license data in the cloud with a software licensing, you can significantly reduce the risk of piracy or risk of overuses, as well as reduce the additional cost. So preventing such security breaches and make it stronger helps maintain the business continuity, avoid some kind of financial losses, as well as prevent potential revenue decline. So by storing the license data in the secure cloud, you may conduct regular audits of your software uses and assessment to identify potential vulnerability and address them promptly, and can also have well-defined incident response and recovery plan in place to mitigate the impact of security incident and recover very quickly. So all this with the help of software licenses. Moving to operational expenditure savings. So this actually directly contributes toward saving the cost, which definitely play the role in growing in the software revenue side. So you can also grow the revenue by this optimizing all these operational expenses, which actually involves finding a way to reduce cost and increase efficiency. So here are some of the strategy also, how to save the operational expenses by implementing software licensing. So it's beneficial to invest. The first one is process automation, where it is beneficial to invest in automation tool and technology to streamline the repetitive task and process. So by automating these manual tasks, you can reduce the need for extensive labor and minimize the errors. And eventually this leads to increased efficiency as well as resource allocation, resource optimization. This can include optimizing your staffing levels and reducing the excess inventory and efficiently allocated resource and save cost as well. So an efficient supply chain management can significantly impact the operational cost as well. So you can implement just-in-time inventory strategy with software licensing to minimize the storage cost. And last, reducing energy consumption by implementing some kind of energy efficient practice, which is software license and technology, helps as well, such as invoicing SL software license or invoicing the kind of cloud-based licensing can save on your IT infrastructure and maintenance cost, and also benefit from scalability and reducing the downtimes. Next is the cloud licensing. How exactly does it help or contribute in growing the revenue? So cloud licensing models can offer your business the flexibility and scalability that they need to grow the revenue. And again, some ways here we are going to discuss about leveraging the cloud licensing to drive the revenue growth. One is multi-platform accessibility. So you may offer your application to multi-platform, such as a virtual environment, Docker container, or a SaaS platform, and can cover the diverse market. This means your customer adapt and use the software across different devices and different screens. For example, they can access the software through desktop, they can access through a smartphone tablet, or they can simply access through a browser. So offering a consistent and user-friendly experience across platform can lead to a higher engagement and ultimately driving the revenue growth. The next one is usage-based model. So software licensing, again, the software licensing comes with various options. For example, you can enable the cloud feature. So the software licensing that you implement in the cloud, you can enable the usage-based model as well. So usage-based model is something that is according to the customer's requirement, customer's uses. So in addition to your perpetual plan or subscription plan, you can consider offering this usage-based pricing. So this allows your customer to pay only for the resources or software or services that they actually use. This model is particularly very appealing to the business with fluctuating workload or seasonal demand. So it can also attract customer who want to try your solution before committing to a real perpetual or subscription kind of agreement. End user mobility, where the software licensing, and again, software licensing with cloud functions enable, you can offer your customer to use your application more flexibly, more independently from any specific machine. So they can simply move anywhere and use the application from their desktop or mobile devices. This licensing could be more beneficial for the SaaS-based application, where suppose if you are hosting this application in your data center or in some public cloud, and your application you offer just to be accessed through web browser. So we are talking about the SaaS application, the pure play SaaS application. User does not need to have any dependency on their specific machine. They can simply move anywhere, access the application by simply connecting to the license, and this avoid any kind of machine dependency or the dongle dependency where they need to carry and take some risk to lose it. So these are the extra benefit that you get, as well as it adds more satisfaction to your customer. uh, well, if we talk specific about software licensing with cloud enable option, then it also eliminates the need to manage any on-premise infrastructure, reducing IT workload or the complexity. So with a lesser technical task to manage, your IT team can focus more on the strategic initiative that directly contribute to the organization goal, rather than spending time or focusing on repackaging the application or programming the hardware dongle for different customer. Uh, so yeah, you can reduce the IT burden by implementing the software licensing. And last year, but of course not the least, you can also gain a business insight. So ultimately, with software licensing, you may capture the business data that could be very crucial for making investment decisions. So you may also monitor the health of your business lifecycle with accurate licensing enforcement and entitlement management tracking capabilities. You may know what license have been purchased, how many actual activations has been made, which features are being uh, used by your customers, which feature are not very popular. So all these informations you can track and you can use it for various purposes. For example, making the roadmap decision. And you may also track their license validity and send renewal notification in the real time. So all these are eventually contributing to growing your revenue and increase your customer satisfaction. Next is reducing the supply dependency for hardware dongle, how it actually contributes. So software licensing, which may often require a lower upfront investment, can reduce cost, first of all. Okay. So you may optimize the delivery process by your software and the license key, either virtually or via cloud. So by implementing a kind of, again, self-service portal that we discussed earlier or similar technology, you may allow instant delivery of not only the license, but also your software package. You may also utilize the software license to manage return issues. For example, time to time, you might experience, I mean, if you are using some kind of dongle, you might have experienced that some of the dongles are not working in the field, or some of the dongles has gone failure or broken, and that creates another logistic problem, increasing the cost. By implementing the software license, you can manage all these issues easily, or you can avoid it completely because it's a virtual key, and then you can reverse this logistic process efficiently, and of course that reduce associated cost, which eventually contributes in increasing your revenue. You may make the selection of software licensing model that aligned with your usage pattern. So for example, the subscription model or pay as you go model allows your customer to pay only for what they use. And with the real time, updates, you may enable the access in your software immediately. So let your customer choose what exactly they want to purchase today, and as they grow, they can eventually upgrade the licensing to use more of the software feature in the in the future. And then with process automation, again, you can reduce some of the supply chain problem. So process automation actually adds another value, as we discussed earlier also. You may implement automation process to streamline the repetitive tasks such as order processing or data entry, which leads to the manual error. And sometimes it becomes very costly. I mean, by the time you realize, and going back and fixing those specific problem include your resource, your infrastructure, and increase a lot of cost. So using the software licenses, all these can be reduced. So you can reduce the need for manual intervention. You can minimize the error as well as operational cost, and it ultimately, adding revenue or ultimately adding its contribution in the revenue growth. So these are the few things you can improve in your supply chain management by implementing the software-based licensing. And the last bullet in my slide is implementing a flexible packaging and how it helps or how it contributes in your revenue growth. So let's see. Uh, Flexible packaging can definitely play a very significant role in growing your revenue or growing revenue to your business, actually, if I choose the right word. With innovative packaging and licensing capability, you may repackage your existing solution and provide more value to existing customers, and of course expand into the new markets. So here are some of the strategy again to leverage the flexible packaging for revenue growth. The first one is grow software revenue with industry specific package. So tailoring software product packaging to meet the unique needs of a new vertical can really be a game changer for your business. So by making an industry specific package, you can unlock untapped revenue stream, and it can also provide access to a whole new world of the customer. Actually, this method is based on feature customization. If I go into more detail, so rather than you create a unique package for each and every industry, let your customer pick and pay for the feature and functionality that they want. So it gives, first of all, user a sense of control over the outcome, and it also allows them to create something that is tailored to their needs, and that they are more likely to be committed to using in the future. The next point is add additional licensing option to your pricing tier, which is a kind of thing that you can implement with a flexible packaging. So, most B2B SaaS companies have already embraced the tiered pricing or bundle pricing. So there are many names of it. Typically, the customer gets access to increased feature and functionality as they move up levels. For example, a basic tier, you can create one single package and you can define the tier. So a basic tier can include some basic features. Silver and gold can include some extra and advanced feature. All these packaging can be controlled at the licensing level with single software package that goes to each customer. So your engineering team does not have to create a multiple package for each and every market, for each and every industry, or for each and every customer. They simply create one package, and your sales team are actually enabling and disabling the feature while they are selling it to a specific industry or a specific company. How beautiful is that? And this helps you to offer a customized pricing or tier-based pricing to your customer as well. And this does not only increase the perceived value of your offering, but also provide upselling opportunity that can boost your revenue. And and of course, the licensing is not just for software anymore. You can target support and training that helps your customer adopt your product and achieve success. This value add actually reduce the churn and create a better customer experience, all while growing the software revenue. So these are the 7 bullets that I wanted to highlight in today's webinar. How can it helps to grow the revenue by implementing a software licensing or in more advanced cloud licensing. Now the question is, what should be the migration path? Migration path, if we talk about the ISV who are already using some form of dongle licensing today. So what should be the migration path to software license and eventually to the cloud license, depending on the requirement and use cases? Of course, the migration path should be easy. If it is complex, means if you will have to repackage your application, if you will have to reinvest your IT resource or engineering resource, then definitely this is going to cost. This is going to be more costly and not really a kind of flexible option for the vendor. So what should be the migration path? The best is it should have one licensing API. It should have one protection technology. It should have one implementation strategy. So you do not have to reinvest your engineering time or IT cost, but simply enable the software licensing and cloud licensing for your existing customers who are already using the dongle. So without changing the software that is already with your customer, that is already in the field, simply start distributing the SL and CL license, software and cloud license instead of hardware dongle, and letting your customer use this immediately, I mean, would be the more beautiful way to migrate. And this is what Thales concept is. So if you are already using Thales dongle, then the migration path for you is very easy. You don't have to change anything inside your code. You don't have to change any licensing API. You don't have to change any protection tool, obfuscation tool. You simply start distributing software and cloud license, and your existing package that is already being used by your customer will start consuming these type of licenses. So that's a migration path it should be. And this is my last slide for this specific webinar. And yeah, I think I am ready for any Q&A. So thank you for listening again. If you have questions, please feel free to put it in the chat, and I would be happy to take one by one and answer it. So yeah, over to you, Laura. If there is any question,
Yeah,
then
I mean,
let's go.
there's a question
Yeah.
Yes,
from,
we do have a question.
yeah. How do licensing play a role if a company provides software via many channels like the on-premises, cloud, mobile, SaaS, and offline mode? I think I got this question quite often as well, because I mean today's no, even though SaaS is leading the way, but still got a lot of companies are providing, I mean, the software in a different channel. So over to you.
Oh,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, that's very interesting question. So if I go back to the slide, I think I can use my first slide, the agenda opening slide, to answer this question. So yeah, your question was how does licensing play a role
Mhm.
uh, for multiple deployment, like on-prem deployment or cloud deployment or hybrid deployment, if I understand correctly. Can you confirm?
Yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
so it plays a role. I mean, in multiple sector. I mean, for growing the revenue as well as reducing, the cost. So, for example, using licensing, you can make immediate deployment to any infrastructure, regardless if you are deploying an on-prem application or you are deploying a cloud application or you are deploying a hybrid. You can choose to deliver or deploy the license immediately to each and every platform because this license is a cross platform supported. So you can activate this license by simply click one button on your on-prem application on your desktop. You can simply activate this license by single click in the cloud and let your application work depending on where your application is actually deployed and installed. And then it also saved the operational expenditure because this is a software license. No, extra shipping cost and time in delivery or manufacturing the hardware things. You can save the cost, and of course, I mean, deploying immediately after the customer make purchase. You can enjoy the lesser management. You can avoid any supply dependency because this is a virtual key. We are talking about the software licensing. So yeah, it plays in many areas and help in multiple sectors, multiple part to grow the revenue and reduce the cost. Uh, is it okay, or your question is more technically?
Yeah, I hope we have answered Brian questions. Thanks a lot. I mean, Brian, thanks a lot, Amit, on that. Any more question from the floor? I guess I think one of the another my personal question, I mean, if you don't mind, I mean, just for your info, is that so I do have when you talk about migrations, right? I mean, on that. So for all the current existing customers, the dongle who are using the dongle. So I think one of the worry is that, I mean, the uncertainty when during the migration. So would it be something that it can be really guaranteed like a zero impact, on that? So I guess
Okay,
from
great
Singapore,
question.
from Japan, from Korea, from Australia, New Zealand, I think now a lot of people are moving into to migration into hybrid, but just the worry is always there because the sustainability or the uncertainty is still something um, is a concern for most of the existing
Yeah,
customers.
yeah. See, if your question, I mean, if there is any risk or uncertainty is related to the downtime during the
Yeah,
migration,
yeah.
then answer lies in this specific slide because as I explained, there is no changes required at the software level. So there is no zero downtime because as you are shipping the dongle today, which actually takes 1 or 2 days or 3 days to reach, and then it might be 2 3 days of downtime. Actually, you are improving that a specific situation by simply activating the software license immediately. So this by moving from dongle to SL, first of all, there is zero downtime. Regarding uncertainty, I think I don't find any uncertainty specifically. With the dongle, I find more issues because dongle could be lost during the transit. Dongle could be broken at the customer end. So it creates a lot of other challenges also. While software license, this is a virtual key that is installed either in the desktop or this is installed in the cloud. So all these issues are also gone. So I don't find there is any uncertainty with the software license also. If there is any specific question, then I would love to take an answer. But this is the
Cool,
general answer I would say.
cool, cool. Any more questions? Seems like we don't have too much question from the floor. Any more question?
We have another question from Brian also, a follow up,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, he's asking that. Okay, the question is introducing modifications can occasionally give rise to unwelcome uncertainties. So, can it be presumed that transitioning from a dongle to SL or the cloud carries no risk?
No, I think the same question as my this one.
Uh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Right. So,
yeah.
okay, so there is another question. Joe, do you see the question about,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
How about KPI based licensing? I mean, is there anything that that in your experience? I mean, from you know
Okay,
how it
KPI
works,
based
the ideas.
licensing. I believe you are talking about aligning the licensing uses to your business goal. In other one world, I think this is directly related to the uses based. I mean, pay as you go, as I explained in the previous slide. So I think if this is related to that uses based, where the user can simply purchase according to what they exactly need, then yes, I think we have this flexible options available where you can simply enjoy the power of our APIs and implement in your application package, the software package, and create a bundle, or you don't even have to create a bundle. Simply, offer the package which is licensed already. You can offer it to each and every customer, put it on your website, on your customer portal, let customer choose what exactly the feature or function or options that they want to use, and let them pay for that specific function only. So that is something you can directly say it is related to the usage based and KPI. And this is all can be done through just with the help of those powerful APIs as well as the software licensing. So the user can simply, for example, purchase one basic feature because this is what they need, which is directly related to their KPI, and they use it. And later in the future, once their KPI changes, there should be an option that they can come to your portal, select more feature, make payment, and start enjoying those additional feature immediately. So that is all the
Mhm.
power of the software based licensing.
That's become a very automated environment. Very good. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, I think we got a few minutes more to go. I mean, we didn't see any more question. Any more question from the floor? Yeah, if there's no, I mean, can you switch to the last slide? I mean, the last one.
Yes, Joe,
Yeah.
over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's no more question, thank you. But I mean, this is the email. You can just print screen if you would like to. So, in the case that you suddenly come into mind that you need some more detailed clarification with us, you can always send to me or send to Amit that we will be coming to even organizing a one-to-one discussion session. That I mean that we can work together and to understand your requirement better. And then of course, I mean there's always a free trial that you can really play around and get a feel about what is the software monetization concept and how it can really help you. I mean that really to drive revenue in your space. It has to be amazing. I mean from our experience from the last decade, there's so many ways that you can do, even different segment, something that you can play around to go into the practical field of it. Yeah. And the next, I mean, uh, yeah, if you after you, so we do even have a Olga event in I mean in September. I mean for Asia, in the case that you are around the region, okay, that you can pay us a visit in September. So we will be having a quite a sizable birthday to really helping, especially I mean there's the people who are writing industrial software, for 4.0, and how we can really help them to protect the intellectual property, and how we can actually even help them to monetize it, in the space of oil and gas. So, but I mean, nevertheless, if you are there, just please pay us a visit, and we will be have great to meet you and have a coffee together. Yeah. So thank you. I think we are just on time. So I mean, anything you need to add? No more.
No, I once again want to thank all the audience for
Yeah.
listening. And even if you have a question later, if you want to watch the recording and have a question later, feel free to drop an email to these email ID, and we would be
Yep.
happy to answer.
Thank you, Amit. I will say thank you for all the audience. I think for your time from different time zone again. Hopefully, this will really give you some ideas, the Thales way, how we can really help, to grow revenue. So have a good weekend ahead.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Joe.